All right. Banba and Forsaken. The other three have left with the child. What are the two of you doing in the house at this moment? We'll start with you, Banba.
Making tea. Just making tea. That's what Bamba does. He's making tea and just reflecting on what the heck just happened.
How does Banba feel about the little girl that you guys rescued from the country club?
Curious, cautious, make a note to keep an eye on her if she stays around. 'Cause Bamba's first thoughts is just to get rid of extra baggage.
All right. You still haven't seen Forsaken. Are you gonna go check on him, or are you just going to wait till he appears, so to speak?
Everyone usually comes down when I make tea, so I'm gonna stay in the kitchen making tea for a little bit longer.
Forsaken, how are you feeling? You still are pretty banged up with aggravated damage. Uh, the microwave, unfortunately, isn't healing you as quickly as one would hope.
Has it healed me at all?
It's healed. It has downgraded throughout the night 2 points of the aggravated damage to lethal, but still are suffering pretty heavily.
Okay, yeah, I'm very hurt. I need to go find other means of healing myself. I pull myself out of my pain wallowing in the bed and I head downstairs.
Banba, you can hear the footsteps, and as you turn around, you can see Forsaken struggling to make it down the stairs. His wounds are still seeping with radioactive ooze. Can almost hear it when it hits the ground sizzle a little bit from the sheer amount of heat and radiation coming off of it.
There goes the floor again. Hey, how you doing, buddy? You want some tea?
I need help. I hurt.
Yeah, whenever you needed help, did the professor ever have anything in his lab to help you out? Like anything at all? Can you remember?
I don't remember. I don't think so.
To be fair, Forsaken, you've never been this injured before.
This is very true.
Okay. We're going to fix you. You're going to feel better. We don't need to lose anyone else. Yeah, everyone's gone, by the way. They took that little girl with them. Makes me worry a lot. A lot. I don't want to do this, but I'm gonna call the professor.
After a few moments, it goes to voicemail.
Leaving a message. Hey, Professor, it's me. I just forgot his name? This is Cullen. No, Forsaken. Forsaken, right? Forsaken, sorry. Forsaken got a little, not a lot. He got a lot hurt. He's pretty hurt. Call me back as soon as you can. We're gonna need help. And I hang up. Okay. I don't want you to move around too much, so stay here. I'm gonna go to the professor's lab.
Okay.
All right. When you say his lab, do you mean his actual laboratory or his study?
I figured they were kind of together. Study first, and then the lab. I want to see if there's any books lying around up about any of us. Wait, yes, there are. You wrote books about us. I'm gonna look for the books about Forsaken first.
All right. Give me a intelligence plus investigation, or if you don't have any investigation, if you have academics, that would also work.
I got investigation, so that's 3. So 5. Oops.
Nice. That's impressive.
I know, right? I surprised myself.
As you look through the various journals that the professor himself has written, you do find a relatively thin one that does discuss Forsaken. It seems like the professor was almost confused by Forsaken's existence. It seems like this type of being that Forsaken isn't very common, even amongst others like you, other created. There's no vast lore or anything that he could discover. It seems like the Zeka, as the professor called it, just turned up relatively recently. From everything the professor has written, everything about them seems to be connected with the splitting of the atom, radiation. Even going so far as to call him a nuclear marvel. Unfortunately, beyond that, there is not a lot of information in that journal. It seems like the professor was almost writing in uncharted territory. There's a lot of, redacted statements with little notes on the side stating that after further research, it doesn't seem to be true anymore. It seems like it was very much a work in progress.
And that's the only book in the study. I'm gonna head up to the lab where he took that one chick.
He took the, if you're referring to Catalina, he took her up to the study. His laboratory's downstairs in the basement.
Oh, okay, then I'll go down. Wait, so I'm in the first study, and then that second study he took her, that's like an extra secret study?
No, he only has one study, which is on the second floor. His laboratory's in the basement. Those are the only two things.
Okay, down to the basement.
All right, what exactly are you looking for in the basement, however?
Well, this isn't my first time in a laboratory, correct?
No. I mean, you've checked it out occasionally, but you've never really had a huge reason to be in there either. For a long period of time, all it was used for, well, long in your memory, was to house Cullen until he woke up.
Okay. So I'm looking for any more similar books about us, any extra ones he has, any vials, any containers, possibly with radioactive stuff, like...
Well, the laboratory seems to have plenty of generators. There's nothing radioactive in the laboratory. Everything about it was electrical. Just pure standard electricity, nothing special. The books in there that you find are mainly lists of names with notations on the side, arm, leg. One name that says body's in almost perfect condition. Looks almost too perfect. Give me a wits. Wits plus composure, actually.
Aw.
With 3 successes. As you look through this, it begins to dawn on you, kind of in a horrific way. This list that you're looking at is a collection of body parts and bodies that, from everything that you can tell, was used to make all of you.
Settling. I'm gonna push through this, and does he look like he has like a main desk in this laboratory?
Honestly, as you look around the laboratory, you notice, while it does have all the, vials and beakers and tables you would expect, the main feature of this laboratory is honestly 6 metal cots. Which, with your roll from earlier, you realize is where you guys were stored until you guys woke up.
Nice. Creeped out, but curious at the same time. Okay, I want to look for any hidden grooves, any picture vaults, anything that he would be willing to hide, any secret passages or something. What should I roll for that?
In this situation, since you have ample time to go ahead and look around, after about an hour of searching, you don't come across anything. It doesn't seem like the professor designed anything to be secret, so to speak. Everything was as it was meant to be. The tables are tables, desks are desks, cabinets are cabinets. It doesn't seem like he was clever. I say the word clever not as in intelligent enough. He was just honest in what that laboratory was for. It wasn't meant to hold any real secrets.
Let's see. Okay. In my notebook, I'm gonna just jot down some of the stuff what was in Forsaken's book. And yeah, he said nothing in here radioactive or whatever. Do you really not think of anything if something was to happen to him? How he can help himself? Not all that smart. The bedroom, Professor's bedroom. Let's see if I can find in there.
Okay, you go up to the professor's bedroom, and honestly, the only thing in the bedroom is a cot. And when I say a cot, I mean it's pretty much just a flat mattress on the floor. There's no decoration in the room or anything outside of that mattress. To be fair, as you think back, he didn't really spend a lot of time in his room. Most of his days, he spent in his studies, so it's not all that unsurprising as you look into his room.
Nothing in a closet, again, looking for secret stuff.
The room doesn't even have a closet.
Oh, wow, okay. Real minimalist. Oh. Where else can I look? Is there an attic? We have an attic, right?
You've been up into the... You have an attic, and you've been up there multiple times.
Alright, so I'm gonna go back. Dang, I was hoping to find something in the lab. Okay, I'm gonna just go back to Forsaken.
As you go back to Forsaken, honestly, the only thing that you've been able to find, and the only thing that seems to hold any sort of notes, is the journal that you read in the study regarding his condition being so rare and so new, and that it has to do with radiation and the atom.
Great. This is our first time in this town, so we wouldn't really know much.
Forsaken, you see Banba darting to and from different locations in the house as he seems to be going about trying to find information. You occasionally hear some muttering underneath his breath. He finally comes back down from the attic with a contemplative look on his face as he approaches you this time.
Did you find anything?
No. As smart as the professor thinks he is, he didn't think of anything for you.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. Apparently, you are one of a kind. Very rare and special, with special needs, which is radiation, which is very hard to come by. Unless we're gonna go to an appliance store and turn on all the microwaves, we need to get you some radiation.
Where can we find some?
There's our phone is like modern. I can like just go to like Google Maps, right? We got that in this town.
Point of question. Are they still using atomic power plants in 2030?
Actually, sorry, let me refix that. It's 2029. Sorry. But some locations are, yes, of course. As for Dublin, it is still mostly just electrical.
That was the second thing I was hoping for. Like some kind of plant or something. Dublin, it's just in this town. I'm gonna Google power plant and see what pops up in the nearest cities. This is so dumb. Anything pops up?
There are no nuclear energy plants in Ireland at all.
Are you kidding me?
No.
For real? Like none?
Nah,
None.
fam.
The single electricity market encompassing the entire island of Ireland does not and has never produced any electricity from nuclear power stations.
Ugh. Lovely.
You know
Oh,
what?
man.
Here's an idea. Vet clinics. Okay, I am gonna look for an animal hospital. Yeah, okay. Gotta stay away from people. Where's the nearest vet clinic hospital?
I mean, there's like hundreds in Dublin. So, I mean, Sophie's choice. Pick whichever one you want.
The
What
closest
is
one.
what is Banba's thought process behind the vet place, though?
Vet hospital. Animals break bones, break legs, swallow things. They need an MRI scan. Radioactivity.
I have an idea. Cancer is treated through chemotherapy, right?
Yeah.
So, part of chemotherapy is intensive radiation treatments.
Yeah. Are you gonna pretend that you have cancer?
No, I mean, I could, but even more morally, like, horrifying is we may have to break into a cancer clinic.
Or maybe you can just stand outside of the building or act like you're looking for a patient and you've come to visit them.
We could do that.
Yeah, instead of breaking in, because then we will have to wait for night and you don't look, no offense, like the most nimble person right now, as I point to the oozing stuff from his body.
You're probably right. Would it be possible to steal one of the radiation machines in case this happens in the future?
Neither one of us is strong enough.
Ah.
And plus, we're gonna need it not broken and falling apart.
You make a good point.
So it's either go to a hospital that has a lot of radiation and a lot of people and attention, or let's try the vet clinic first, because they do have radioactive machines. Animals can get sick and have cancer as well. Let's start off small.
I don't like it. So then I guess we'd have to, Google a vet clinic that can handle veterinary cancer?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I feel horribly amazed with myself at how I'm thinking of this. Oh
I'm
gosh.
kind of impressed, honestly.
Are you and Forsaken setting out for a vet clinic?
Yeah.
I think we kind of have to.
Start small. Start small.
We should at least put some forethought into this. Like, maybe research where one is, get a look at it, plan out the infiltration.
Yeah. Look at it. Check it out by day. And
Guard
then
routes. Yeah.
by night, they're not going to be high in security. It's just animals. They're not going to have guards like and security guards and swipe cards and stuff like in a hospital.
I like it. Let's do it.
First, we need to do something about the way you look. He's like dripping radioactivity everywhere, isn't he?
Yes, however, the veil of humanity makes whatever drips off of him just look like blood.
How do I stop radioactive drip? Yeah, I'm just gonna take off your shirt. I'm gonna go find gauzes and any type of stuff in the labs just so I can try to wrap him up.
Alright, as you begin to work more closely on him, give me a stamina plus Azoth check.
Okay. Stamina. So that's 3 in total. Oh wow, that sucks.
It's enough. Alright, as you finish wrapping his wounds, you see it as green stains quickly begin to appear on the bandages. Any human would just see red, as if blood. You stopped it from dripping out, but you haven't really stopped the oozing, so to speak.
Okay. Gotta move fast. Put 2 shirts on and zip up your jacket. That's the best I got.
I guess it'll do for now.
Alright, we're off to the closest vet clinic hospital.
Alright, do you want to make any phone calls before you leave?
Yeah, I'm gonna send a text to them, telling them, gonna try to help Forsaken, and we'll try to be back at the house within 2 hours.
All right, so we're gonna leave with you two going off to find this vet clinic. For Aoife and Craig, you guys have just begun your search for the little girl's school. You've only went by one school, which the little girl confirmed was not her school. And that is when you receive the message from Banba regarding that he's going to help Forsaken.
Well, he's alive, so that's good.
That's always good, because he was alive when we left.
Yeah, and he's still alive. How many schools are there? And we can't go to the police, right?
We can't? I don't know.
I thought we could. I mean, the police are the good guys. They usually help, and they know where everybody is.
Curiosity, what day is it today?
It would be a weekday if you're wondering how busy the schools are. 2029 in May. It would probably be midweek, first week of June. So probably Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll say Wednesday.
So, how far away are we from the next school? I consult Google Maps.
Roughly about 10 miles. There seems to be a relatively decent distance between schools. They're not stacked up on each other.
You don't remember how your house looked like?
She kind of shakes her head and she goes, "No, I know I wasn't really allowed to go out of the house. My parents were worried about people getting sick, so they didn't really let me go out all that much. So I don't really remember what the house looked like. They would take me to and from school," and she kind of just shakes her head. "I haven't been there in a while."
So if we drive around, she's not going to be able to recognize her house. Any idea, guys?
I don't know.
It's a bit of a long shot, but I mean, how authoritarian has Ireland gone? Can I look up a list of infected individuals in the city or something? I don't know. Have we deleted privacy in 9 years?
Oh, yeah, that's true. If you're infected, would it be kind of like would you be put on a watcher's list, for the public to know?
Or give me an intelligence plus computer check. You're able to find a national database of uninfected people. As you scan your way across the page, you go ahead and pull up the page elements. Looking through the code, you do see something a little suspicious. You do see that there is a hidden government employee login section that's obviously not available to the public. With the right application, you might be able to force your way in and it might have more information, because this is just a list of notable people and that are clean and aren't clean, so to speak.
So is this a list of like the entire population or just like notable public figures?
What you're looking at is just notable figures, but just scanning through the page elements, essentially, you can tell this page is a lot larger than what it appears to be from a public perspective. So if you want to give me a actual hacking check, you can go ahead and do so.
No equipment to do this but my brain. Here we go, lads.
And a phone.
Yeah, that's about it. Okay, so intelligence computers again?
Yes, and you can add your specialty into it. You have already arrived at the next school by the time before 4 gets into this little hidden page. 4, you can feel the car pull to a stop, and you can hear people chatting in the car. It's all kind of peripheral noise. It is rather complicated to do this on a phone. It's not even remotely easy, but you manage. You pull up an entire database of people that have lanyards, people that don't have lanyards, and people that have special permissions. That's all it's listed as, is special permissions. You have no idea what it might mean, but you do have a full register of everybody in Ireland that have lanyards, which means they aren't infected, and those that are infected, along with addresses and telephone numbers and national identity cards.
Well, I'm gonna check a couple things. I'm gonna check up on... Do I know the kid's last name? Like, do I know their last names? I presume I found the mother, I believe, so I assume we share the same last name. So yeah, I'm gonna look up the mother, look up the kid, and then look up anyone else sharing the same surname.
A couple of people show up with the same surname. The kid's name, interestingly enough, is not registered on either database. No idea what that might mean, realistically. But the kid's name's not on either database. You are able to locate the mother's name on the infected database, so she's definitely ill. Father, you're not entirely sure. There's a couple of male names that show up with the last name, but you didn't come across the father's name, so you're not 100% sure on that. Most of the addresses are actually relatively close to this school. As you can kind of hear the little girl goes, "Yeah, that's my school," and that's when your attention's finally drawn to her pointing at the school, kind of, tugging on Aoife's sleeve happily.
Oh, yay! Great. Stop the car.
Okay, I go find a parking spot.
Doesn't take you very long. Yeah, school's kind of in session at this moment, so there's not a lot of cars parked around. There's a lot of activity around the school. However, despite all the activity, it does seem like the school has personnel there for its defense. Security guards or police, you can't really tell the difference.
So what should we do we go take her?
I have a couple options. You can walk up to the school, or I believe I might have a more precise address to where we need to go.
Oh, and instead of the school?
If the information that I've found is correct, which it should be, I believe I have her mother's address.
Oh, well, that would be better if we could just take her directly, right?
Yeah, that's even better because we only came to the school to find the parents, right?
Mm-hmm.
There is a complication, of course, there always is. The mother is reported to be under quarantine at this time.
Oh, she doesn't have her lanyard?
And neither does Kira. I'm gonna kind of like tilt my head that way. Nod, tilt. I'm gonna do that. Trying to not to draw a huge amount of attention to the child who's probably just looking out the window at this point. But she doesn't either.
So, is she sick or is she not sick?
Unknown.
Kira, do you feel sick?
She kind of looks at you with a glare in her eyes and she goes, "Why do you want to know?"
Because it's not good for you if you're sick.
None of your business. And she kind of cuddles up to Aoife and is just glaring at you. Like she wants to kick you.
Well, we have to know because if you feel sick, we don't want you to get any worse. So do you feel okay? And I put my hand on her forehead.
She feels... Well, you wouldn't really know what normal feels. She just feels like flesh. She shakes her head. No, I feel fine. I want to see my mom a little bit. But I like being with you. And she hugs Aoife.
Yay! Oh, but you gotta be with your mom, though. I'm sure she misses you, too.
She pouts up at Aoife.
I mean, maybe... has she been reported lost? Maybe we could just go and talk to the mom and tell her, hi, we found your daughter. She's safe. And yeah. Because I don't know. Father never explained what happens if somebody's sick, but it's the parents.
She looks up at you kind of confused.
While they're doing this, I'm gonna do some internet searching again, see if I can find the list of missing persons. I'm sure Ireland probably has one. See if this kid's on it.
Doesn't take you too long, and there doesn't seem to be any missing children going by her description. So that leads to a couple of different possibilities that you can think of off the top of your head. And obviously the darkest one that comes to mind is that her family gave her over.
Well, that would imply she'd still be on the list of citizens, unless... I never finished my research into the Abbey, so I still don't really know what we're dealing with. Okay. But I would suggest we just go directly to try to drop the child off, because, well, there are armed people here, and remember, They got us on camera last time.
So, are we going into school or are we going into the mom?
I won't stop you if you're gonna go to the school, but I think going to her parents is probably the better idea. Because the whole point of coming here was to try to find where she would have lived. It's taken a bit, but I found it.
Yeah, I agree too. Kids should be with their parents.
Okay, let's go to where her parents are. Where are they?
Oh yeah, where are
Right.
they?
Give the address on the list that I found. The address of the mother will go there first. What could go wrong?
Okay, let's go there. Moms should like kids, right?
I'm pretty sure they do until they get a little bit older. I think it's teenagers they don't like.
She looks up at Aoife and she goes, "What about your mom and dad?"
Well, I don't have a mom. I do have a father, but my brothers and sisters call him Professor. But he was always more like a dad to me. Yeah. He went away for a while. He hasn't been picking up his phone.
She looks over at Four and she goes, "Computer, why do you call him Professor?"
It's his title.
She kind of giggles. She goes, and she looks back up at Aoife. "You see why I call him Computer?"
Yeah. I see it. I think there's a movie that he kind of looks like them. Oh, but you shouldn't watch it. It's too violent.
She goes, "Yeah, violence isn't good. Don't do anything violent. It's bad."
See, for even the child says not to do anything violent. Four has a hard time not doing violent things.
Is that actually meant to be secret, or are you whispering loud enough for Four to hear regardless?
I whisper it to her. Unless he wants to try to hear. But I don't think Four really cares. What?
My perception's probably high enough that I could roll. I've done it before. You try to whisper to people about me, and I've heard it.
Yes, and each time you don't care.
Does Four want that perception check?
Oh, why not? You know, I could add notes. Can have like a witty comment. No,
Witty comment whatsoever.
check the phone.
Four is completely oblivious to this conversation in the whispered comment in the backseat.
I giggle.
She giggles along with you, and she goes, "So Four's violent? Doesn't surprise me. Most computers are violent towards their people in movies."
That's true. But he's working on it. He just needs practice, I think.
She
What
kind
about
of,
Craig? What do you think of Craig?
I don't like him.
Oh, why? Craig's really nice. He doesn't hurt people.
She just kind of groans and crosses her arms and pouts.
Oh, that's not nice. You should like everybody.
I don't like him.
Oh, well,
He's a-
Craig's really nice. Don't worry.
He's a monster.
Yeah, but he's one of the nice ones.
There's
Really?
no such thing as a nice monster. Monsters are evil and need to be destroyed.
Well, sometimes
People are good.
Sometimes people can do really evil things. That doesn't mean they have to be destroyed.
But that's their choice. Monsters are just evil to be evil. I'm gonna make a check here. Give me one moment. Craig, you feel a couple of pushes against the back of your chair as she begins to kick the back of your chair.
Ah, hey, don't do that. I've put a lot of work fixing the car. Please don't kick the seat.
Kicking the seat, kicking you. She pouts and continues to do it.
Oh, no, you don't want to kick the driver. We could all get hurt if he's not paying attention. Remember, humans can do evil things, and monsters can sometimes do good things. And Craig's one of the good ones.
Once again, crosses her arms tightly and just pouts, stomping her feet back onto the bottom of the car, stopping her barrage of kicks to the back of your chair, Craig.
Thank you for stopping the kicking.
Not doing it for you, doing it for Aoife. She leans her head on Aoife's arm.
I shrug at Craig and see him through the mirror thing. I don't know.
He's kind of frowning, holding back a tear.
Aw, that's like the most human thing you've done.
Was that allowed, Aoife?
Sure.
Alright, how much HP does the child have? This might be relevant. What? Never.
She goes, see, he talks like it's a video game. He talks about HP. Definitely a robot.
Well, but sometimes robots can be really helpful. Like TVs and microwaves and...
She giggles and she goes, microwaves and TVs aren't robots, they're just technology. She kind of giggles.
I think it's the same. They're like brothers and sisters. They're different, but kind of the same. And it just depends on who created them and how you use them. 4 wasn't created to hurt people. He just really cares about his friends and family. That's why he's hurt people. Because they tried hurting me.
He goes, well, he did do a lot of hurting on those people. I heard lots of things before you came and got me out of the cage. I'm assuming it was him.
Yeah. Yeah, he came in and he helped me get out of my cage because I was put in a cage. And Craig too. Craig came in and he helped us. Oh, he heard you cry in the cage and he wanted to also help you.
So he could eat me.
Not really. He doesn't eat kids. I don't think he eats at all. Craig,
I
you
eat
don't
some
eat.
things, but not
You-
kids, no.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, see, he eats. He just doesn't eat kids. He eats other things, like other regular people food.
She sighs and just begins to look out the window as you guys pull up to the address.
You have just finished listening to this week's chapter of Promethean the Created, 2nd edition, Fading of the Spark, part of the Domain Gaming's Contagion Anthology, written and told by Wyverian. a special thanks to you, the listener. If you wish to continue supporting us, subscribe, like, and share. And as always, comments are welcomed. Until the next chapter, don't stop asking yourself, what does it really mean to be human?